Yesterday, the Commission for Promotion and Protection of the Rights of Cultural, Religious and Linguistic Communities launched hearings on the deaths of young people at initiation schools. The Commission shared steps to be taken related to the tragedy that has been unfolding at some of these schools, including the deaths of initiates, botched circumcision, amputations, assaults, dubious traditional practitioners. To tell us more about these hearings, we joined in our studios in Johannesburg by Thoko Mkhwanazi-Xaluva, who is the chairperson of the CRL Rights Commission. Good morning to you and welcome to Morning Live.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for coming through. We know that this is not necessarily something new. The Commission has previously looked into this issue, but this time around you were telling me that you're looking at a more aggressive way into doing things.
Before we did a broad research, we had hearings to find out where it's going wrong. That was like 5 years ago, sort of, or more than 5 years ago, actually 7 years ago. And we've been monitoring since, and we discovered that it's not improving at all. So we need to find out exactly what is actually going wrong, because we've been told all along, no, we've got a plan. The plan will kick in very soon, and we'll see a drastic reduction. But we're not seeing that. So what we're saying is we need to do a very in-depth investigation and go in and say what is going wrong, who is not doing what they're supposed to do, where are these children dying, what are they dying from, and what are the consequences when these things happen.
So there are specific provinces that you would be looking into. We know that according to the statistics, the Eastern Cape province was actually the one having the highest numbers, 199
Yes.
of the initiates that actually died.
Yes, 199 in a very short period of time, in 3 years, and you're looking at like 4 to 6 weeks per season. So basically, you're looking at a period of 36 weeks, basically, where you've got 199 young, strong people dying.
Yeah, but Ma'am Thoko, what are the powers of the CRL Rights Commission in investigating the stats? How far can you go?
We can go as far as we want to go. The Constitution allows us to do that as a Chapter 9 institution. The CRL Act allows us, gives us the system we should use to get to the bottom of this. So we'll be using our Act in terms of summoning people, asking them for specific information and documents, and we'll also be talking to victims and their families. Because what we've discovered, we did a SNAP research end of last year. A lot of women are saying, I didn't even know my child had died. I thought he was coming back. It was only when they came back that they told me he had died and he was buried up there. So what we're saying is, even the statistics that the police have, they're not necessarily a true reflection of reality.
Just before we get on to those stats, the reason for my question is because we know the sensitivity around the issue of initiation and initiation schools. We know how traditional leaders, this is a subject very close to them. And would you be able to get through such? I mean, you've mentioned an important aspect of the Act that will be used throughout.
We have an MOU with the National House of Traditional Leaders. We've discussed this with them. They agree with us that this can't go on anymore. They need us to intervene as well. So we are saying we'll work with everyone, but we are saying to the organs of state, they need to do what they need to do. We can't say this is a sensitive area. The basic right that we all have is the right to life. And we are all bound by the Constitution to make sure that when people are trying to access their rights to their culture, they don't die in the process. No one needs to die out of this.
Now, going back to the issue of the stats, like, for example, the one from the Eastern Cape province that we talked about between 2014 and 2016, how accurate and reliable are these numbers?
These are the reported cases only.
And obviously, like in your rural areas, you still get cases that go unreported.
Yes. So you're talking about what has been officially reported.
Yeah.
And what we're saying is these numbers are not a true reflection because the others go unreported. And this is a country with a constitution, really. Wall-to-wall laws. There are no laws that apply somewhere and not in other areas. Laws apply across. And we're saying we need to enforce the laws that already exist. And not say this is a cultural dynamic, we can't go in. Our aim is to protect the culture itself. Because at the rate it's going, people will end up not, participating. So in order to protect the culture, this is a very good cultural practice that the country needs, where our boys are taught how to be good men and good citizens.
Not just boys, even girls as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
that they come out as proper citizens. And we can't give up on the culture because of people who are reckless, who are doing things the wrong way.
Now, you've also said that a number of affected parties have already been summoned. How certain are we that they will come and appear before the committee, especially taking into consideration what we've seen happening during the hearings of the church leaders?
I think what we need to do is to implement the laws. The Act is very clear. CRL Act says if people do not comply, go lay a charge at the police station and let the law take its course.
All right, Mam Thoko, we'll leave it at that, but thank you so much for talking to us. First hearings, the 7th of March in Gauteng.
Yes.
All right, there you have it. That's Mam Thoko Mkhwanazi-Xaluva, the chairperson of the CRL Rights Commission, talking to us about the hearings that will take effect from the 7th of March here in Gauteng, looking into the issues of deaths occurring at initiation schools.